All right, we got Osimhen, we got Sancho, we got Sterling, we got Chilwell, and 10 other players to cover in this video. It's a transfer roundup. Here we go. All right, Chelsea fans, you landed at another transfer roundup video. That's right. I know what you were thinking. Man, I hope I can watch another video breaking down all of the transfers Chelsea have going on, because obviously it's insane. Not just the people that are coming in, how many people we still got to get out. So, hey, co-sporting directors, you got twice as many leaders, twice as many problems. Am I right? Hey, you know what they say. Anyways, let's kick it off with the big one, Victor Osimhen. His agent appeared to rule out the Saudi move with the tweet dropping yesterday, Monday. And what it says is, hey, he's got a contract with Napoli. Look, there's some crazy suggestions out there. Let's not get crazy. It is a little bit more normal than that. Now, again, I don't know why that rules out Al-Ali, but apparently it does. They have set the bar at 70 million euros or just under 60 million pounds for the forward. Seems like a bit of a bargain for this player. Also, nobody else is involved in this one, right? Like right now, it looks like it's Chelsea versus Al-Ali for OC. Should we be concerned? Is this a red flag? Why is nobody else interested in the former Serie A Player of the Year, Golden Boot winner, I believe? He was like 8th in the Ballon d'Or, and nobody else is in for him? Like, surely other teams have problems scoring goals besides just us, right? I mean, maybe not. I don't know. You let me know who I'm trying to figure out. But on the flip side, Lukaku to Napoli is almost a go because image rights. Yeah. Everything else is done. We're just waiting on image rights. Thank you. That is the luck that we have as Chelsea fans. Like, even that just can't be done. So I don't know. Maybe we can flip some image rights the other way, bring Osimhen in. But again, I just throw a little bit of a crack out there. Is it a concern to anybody else? Put it in the comments that nobody else is going for Osimhen. Like, we're not at the top of the Premier League. We're not in Champions League. How are we the only one going after him, according to Sky here? I'm a little bit concerned now. It's kind of got my, I guess maybe PSG. He's waiting out PSG. But if they don't come in, it's us or Saudi Arabia. Like, that should be a pretty easy conversation. But I don't know. We'll see. Do we need a striker? Don't we need a striker? Ask Johnny Mikel. Don't ask Nico Jackson. Drama. We'll get to that. Not only do we have Osimhen looking at coming in, but the Jadon Sancho swap, not swap, is apparently Manchester United are going to decide. So here's the headline. Man United decide on swapping Jadon Sancho for Ben Chilwell. And in the exact same article, they say, well, United aren't interested in Chilwell. So what is the decision here? What are we talking about? The only thing that's definitive in this article is that Jadon Sancho has to leave permanently. They're done with him. They want to, quote, cut ties with the former England international. So that means a sale or loan with an obligation at the end of it. I don't know where that leaves us because they're not interested in Chilwell. This is weird. This is weird all about it. This just seems like a little clickbaity article. The question that it says is, do you pull in Raheem Sterling now? Does he want to go to United? Does he have any other options, really? I know Juventus were potentially looking at him, but it seems like Villa, United, like, where would Raheem want to go at this point in his career? He's 29. Apparently him and Chelsea have to agree to a contract before he goes. They've already, he's out, right? It's like Trevo's out. Give away the numbers. They don't need him. Pass them along. They're gone. But they're not. And Raheem's the highest earner on the books. And Chilwell is not far behind, right? If you don't know, according to Capology, it goes Romelu Lukaku, Raheem Sterling, 325,000 gross per week. Reece James, 250. Ben Chilwell, the fourth, tied second highest earner at 200,000 pounds. Chilwell has 31.2 million remaining on his contract. Raheem has 50 million remaining on his contract. He has 3 years left. I don't know how they're going to move this. United, they're bleeding cash. I know they got the injection, from Sir Jim Ratcliffe coming in, but like that would be wild. If we somehow swung that, we would have to see. But look, that's 2 players on the out, potentially. I got more for you. All right, we already talked about Big Rom. Looks to be done. Kepa, apparently going to Bournemouth. From Chelsea to Real Madrid to Bournemouth. You know, like when they play the game, is like, guess the player? Kepa's going to be a good one, right? If he goes to Bournemouth after Real Madrid, it's going to be a good guessing game, all right? And every Chelsea fan is going to knock it out of the park every single time. So you got Kepa going out. You got Ben Chilwell, again, floated. No idea where he's going to go, but Maresca, cut out. Love Chilwell. Super unfortunate, unfair a bit. Raheem Sterling, we've talked about. Trevoh Chalobah, they accepted $25 million on him before. But with Trev, he's got a long contract. Let's look at this, right? So Trevoh here, he's on a meager 50,000 pounds a week. I guess he's only got 10 million left on his contract. I thought he had more than that, but he's got 4 years left on his contract. So again, I guess this just shows you the benefit of having homegrown and not having that signing bonus. If I pull him up again here, so he's got 4 years left, only 10.4 million. If I were to give you Carney Chukwuemeka with 4 years, he's at 20.8 million, double the difference, right? And obviously he's double the wages, but that just goes to show you even a small fee will ride it up. Kepa's only got 7.8 million left on the books. So we continue, right? All right. So Trevoh getting the rub of it. Like, I don't know, maybe he can go to Crystal Palace if Gurhi goes to Newcastle, right? Like that wouldn't be bad for him. I don't know. I feel terrible for him. All right. I remember a couple seasons ago, got to start at the beginning of the season, scored that goal right away. Like, you love to see it. He's done nothing but work hard and keep his head down. So really hard on Trevoh. Petrovic, again, is he healthy? What are we doing with him? Haven't heard any links for him. He just came from the MLS. He's only 12 months out from the MLS. So, like, where does he go inside Europe to get him minutes and things like this? Like, that's a tricky one. Again, short-sightedness on there. Chukwuemeka, apparently on the shopping list to be sold at this point. Not even kept around, which, again, crazy. He's only been here, 2 seasons? David Datro Fofana, another striker. You bought for low, you're looking to flip. Okay, great. He had a good game for Burnley, maybe a couple, right? But like it didn't go well in Germany. Where does it go for him from here? Broja apparently was going to go to Ipswich. That might be on the chopping block a little bit. Ipswich is looking to sign him, but unfortunately, there was an issue with the striker's medical, picked up on an injury or something. So they're not 100% sure it's going to happen, but they're not saying no. So more to come on Broja, but it looks like Everton is out. Angelo, do we keep him around? Right, he was on loan. What do we do with him? David Washington, young. I mean, he can go over to the academy, I guess, right? Stay there again. Alex Matos, Harvey Vale, and Lucas Bergstrom. They all need new clubs. Now, a lot of these players, like the last couple, are probably going to go on loan, right? Matos, Vale, Bergstrom. I think we've all seen all of those players get minutes elsewhere, but we're days away from the transfer window being done. Lukaku, Kepa, Chilwell, Sterling, Trevoh, Petrovic, Chukwuemeka, David Datro Fofana, Broja, Angelo, David Washington, Matos, Harvey Vale, Lucas Bergstrom. Yeah, that's 14 players. For all of you keeping track at home, that is an entire team that we have to move on. I just don't know how this is going to work out. So, we got a busy end of this window, and it just doesn't look, like it's going to be fun for Chelsea fans, to be quite honest. I think it's going to be messy. It's going to be sloppy. Terrible decisions are going to be made. And is moving 14 players out, whether it's permanent or on loan, going to distract from getting the final pieces in that Maresca is asking for? I don't know, but you know me. At this point, I don't have a lot of faith in that. The one thing we do know, especially after this past match, is that Chelsea don't want to sell Noni Madueke. We've talked to Matt Laub, we talked to Ben Jacobs, we talked to Naz even before the season ended. Like, there was a chance that he was on the list. Like, do you keep Noni Madueke? He's one for the future, but you picked him up from PSV, not a lot of money. You could probably flip him to another Premier League team, even back to Palace. but scores a hat trick at the weekend. I mean, that's the fine margins of this team. He's probably a lock now. So again, a lot of players in there. I need to know in the comments kind of where you're at. I'm scrolling all these different articles trying to figure out what in the world is going on, but there's not a lot outside of like Sterling has to go, Trevo has to go. Otherwise, the rest of these, like Broya definitely needs to go. Kepa needs to go. That's a lot. Chukwuemeka, like, don't we think we could use him with the team we have? But again, Maresca's making decisions a little bit rash, a little bit early. But what's he supposed to do with 42 players? It's not adding up. Again, twice the sporting directors, twice the players, twice the problems. At some point, we should probably pick one and move forward. Don't you think? Like this whole database, buying players prematurely before they're fully ready. Now we have a bloated squad. I mean, could you imagine if we sell Chukwuemeka at this point? We just brought him in. We just signed him. And before he even gets a chance, he's off again, right? Is Guiu staying? There's another name, to have fun with that. But it's just, I don't see it. And like we all saw the whole story go out there about years under contract. What a stupid statistic, right? Chelsea have the most years under contract for players. Doesn't matter. That's dumb. I will say it. It only matters if you've got the players ready to compete at the level you want to be. And Chelsea consistently sign players not ready. And if they're willing to move off players as quick as Carney, right? Came in 2022. We're now summer of 2024, 2 seasons later. Adios, see ya. 6-year contract. He's going to leave with 4 years remaining. What was the point? Right? Mudryk still has 7 years left. Right? He's a year and a half in. Talks about that. There's just, it's buying too quickly before like knowing what we actually want to do. Now we got Joao Felix in. Like Omari Kellyman, where's his role? We've sent so many players on loan. Sorry, Slonina. I don't think Cassidy has a home yet, right? Diego Moreira, Santos went to France. This is crazy. It's the amount of players that we have to juggle. It just doesn't make sense. We're quick to buy without a strategy. And we still have, 2 players in South America playing because they're not old enough? 3? Kendry, Estevao, Anselmino. In case you can't tell, I get a little bit frustrated because it seems like we're just scattershot approaching our transfer strategy. Too many players. Now we don't know who we can get rid of, who we want to keep. We've just gathered them all up. Now we got to figure it out now. Another manager has to sift through it. I mean, remember Graham Potter, his office was in a media room at Cobham because they didn't have enough. It's the same thing again. Now we're the laughing stock of all these troll accounts online because we have a triple-decker bus, a quadruple-decker bus. We've got, a mob of a squad. It just doesn't make sense. And there's no clear-cut direction, which drives me crazy. So anyways, to end this video, I had to talk about this one, right? John Obi Mikel, right, on the Obi-Wan podcast, taking shots at Nico Jackson. Nico Jackson's grabbing that shot, heading it back across goal, guns ablazing right back at John Obi. All right, so here's what happens. Mikel kicked it all off on one of his podcasts. Quote, "You need a striker who knows how to hit a ball back in the back of the net." And that's what we don't have. I know I talk so much about him, and sometimes I sound like I disrespect him. I don't disrespect him. I think at Chelsea Football Club, we need a top striker who can get us a goal, a bit like Haaland, 91 goals for City. That's absolutely unbelievable. End quote. Hold up, my guy. How many Haalands are out there? You played with Didier Drogba, one of the greatest strikers to ever live. Are we there? Take a step back. All right? This isn't your Chelsea Football Club. This is a very different club. One well below the bar set by you, John Terry, Frank Lampard, Petr Cech, Didier Drogba, and so many others. So, yeah, we don't have that. And Erling Haaland is pretty much a one of one. All right? So, Jackson gets in the locker room after smashing Wolves, getting the first goal, and hits out and says, "Shut your mouth. Don't talk shit. We are killing ourselves for Africa." Now he's talking about the fact that, like, you're an African player. You know how hard it is to get from Africa to Europe, let alone to England, and succeed. Like, stop hating. John Mikel's Nigerian. Jackson, Senegalese. There's a common interest there of promoting African footballers, and Jackson didn't like it. So, of course, that post got a ton of traction, and Mikel, being the good content creator he is, responded. And he said, quote, "I really like the guy as a football player. I like him. There's something there as a football player. I haven't said that he's a bad player at all. I've just said that his finishing qualities, it's not there yet. He's a young boy, and all I've said is that he needs a more experienced striker to come into the football club to help him improve, to get him better," end quote. Hey, John, it kind of sounds like you said he's not very good and they should bring someone in to replace him. I don't think you would have liked that when you were 18, 19, juggling between Manchester United and Chelsea, right? Scoring goals, is the hardest part of the game, and you just kind of threw them under the bus. And then you're trying to be like, no, but like, no hate. Like, I don't think you're bad. I just don't think you're good enough. Okay. All right. Look, he had a great end of the season. He's already scored a goal. All right. There's a fun stat out there. Nico Jackson has scored more non-penalty goals than Mohamed Salah, Kai Havertz, and Cole Palmer in the Premier League since the start of last season. So Nico Jackson is on 15. Cole Palmer's 13. Raheem Sterling was 8. They don't have the numbers for the other gentlemen. And then the other thing that goes in Nico's favor, right, is that he's taking the momentum from last season and driving it in, which is all you want to hear from the guy. So all in all, look, Nico, go do your thing. John Obi, welcome to the content game. Way to be a little bit of an instigator to get those clicks, get those views. But we got to stick with our guy, Nico Jackson. Right now, he's our best hope, especially while we're waiting for Nkunku to get up and running. So anyways, we got to wrap there. We're going to be pumping out the transfer content every single day this week. So stay subscribed if you are not. Turn on the bell notification and get ready for Ben Jacobs coming at you later this week for all things transfers. Until next time, Chelsea fans, you know what to do. Keep the blue flag flying high.